Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. We'll continue on with our Baldur's Gate 3 series of the Dark Urge, and as always, feel free to leave a like, a subscribe, and also comment on the channel. Let's continue on with the game.
My friend, now we have settled the matter of the guild. I fear there is something I must tell you. You and Boo both. It may shock you both to know, but Minsk and this Stone Lord, they are one man. The same one man. And that same one man is Minsk. Never has Boo been more proud of my failures. I wish to believe the Stone Lord's evil was the worm alone, tainting my thoughts with foul dung. But I see now, the dung was within Minsk all along. So I wonder, if Minsk can be a villain, and Nine Fingers a hero, must it be so with all creatures? Is there good and evil within us all? Boo calls this nonsense. Less thinking of bad thoughts, says he, and more breaking of bad bones. But still, I would hear what you have to say on the matter, my friend. I see. In the case of Nine Fingers, perhaps it was all bunched up in that finger she lost. It shall be for Minsk and Boo to be her virtuous pinky. It is strange. A worm sits within my skull, twisting my thoughts. But it is you that have made Minsk see the world anew. You, my friend, are the true parasite. There is good and evil in all. Let us go crack villainous skulls, so that the virtue might leak free. Yes, Boo. I am becoming something of a philosophizer. Truly, but you have seen my hamster, yes? Here we stay, then. But if Boo grows restless and chews holes in all your delicates, you only have yourself to blame.
I think you might have made a terrible, terrible mistake. Huh? Chasing rumor halfway around the city and back. Crossing the guild. Wading through filth. Defying the one creature upon whom your very life depends. All for a madman and his rodent. It was no mean feat to make nice with the sourest puss in the city, by the way. It took years for Estelle and I to trust one another. The Absolute threatens thousands, the entire coast. And still you risked much to help one man. I should berate you, but I can only say thank you. Your reasons were your own. But whether you meant for it or not, your fight is our fight, huh? Both of us, to the very end. Bringing those two together might have been your greatest service to the city, huh? Or your worst. Time will tell. But I think she can handle the worst of his excesses. She had best believe that he will very much handle hers. For the moment, he and I are your problem. So, lead the way. We are yours to command.
Jaheira! Boo is trying his best to explain, but I still do not understand your anger.
Do not hide behind your hamster, Ranger. You do not understand because you do not listen. We were the first to discover the cult. And if you had only waited, we might have marshaled our numbers and...
Good does not wait for evil to button up its breeches. When it offers buttocks for the smacking, Minsk and Boo greet cheek with hand.
This mess falls on our heads, Minsk. The city under siege, its people poisoned by the cult. It all might have been avoided if you had just put your feelings aside and listened. I have seen too much to believe destiny has taken our side. Blind luck, perhaps. The point remains. You meant well, Minsk. But you exposed the city to harm. You helped the cult spread. And worse, perhaps than any of this, you forced me to leave you behind.
But this is where Minsk falls short of the understanding, Jaheira. What else is a berserker for, if not to charge into danger ahead of his Waclaren?
The Wicklaren, wise women of Rashomon, each bonded to a berserker bodyguard for life. There is no higher title nor deeper bond in all of Rashomon custom.
Wiclaren? Minsk, I am not your witch. You are not my bodyguard. This is not some high lodge of your homeland.
Boo agrees you're a queer kind of witch. But this city is a queer place. And Minsk, you may have noticed, is sometimes strange himself. The titles matter not. Only this. When Minsk does as Minsk does, and charges in to make a mess, Jaheira does as Jaheira does, and finds a way to save us all anyway.
Oh, I fight alongside fools.
You hear that, Boo? We fight alongside a Waclaren again.
I am your friend, Ranger. I am not your witch. There will be no ointments or healing balms.
Not even for Boo?
Something on your mind?
You know exactly what's on my mind.
So, you talked to Cordula. Such an elegant woman, so protective of the city, so eager to hear of your exploits. Tell me, darling, how is she? Entertainment? I'd be a cheeky devil indeed to make such diabolical merry. Glower all you want. I was merely laying the path to Will's success. With the Duke gone, someone will need to step up in his absence. A man with the spirit of the dragon. His only son, perhaps. You are an inquisitive one. I'd have thought you'd figured by now. Zariel found new use for an old battle axe. The dead three in that bulging brain of theirs are a threat to more than this trifling city, you know. Savor her company. Who's to say when Zariel might change her mind? My mistress can be so capricious. The Absolutists worked a number on me at Moonrise. And you're the best hope I've got at payback. No one crosses the Hell's Children without getting scorched. I didn't. If you must know, I was scouting the cultists on behalf of Zariel, but those cursed shadows were thick enough to fell even a half-fiend. I woke in that damned pod. It kept my body sealed and my most powerful magic silenced. But a brave, kind, benevolent soul set me free. Gallantry isn't dead after all. Why? I'm supplying Will with every scrap of his infernal power. I've paid my dues many times over. I tell you what, when the time comes to squish that big baddie of a brain, I'll lend you a hand.
Literature department. Can I help you? Psst. These books are sensitive. They prefer an environment of quiet reverence. Bold. You might have heard that our library has a collection other shops would lack the skill to curate. Between us, even Master Leverokin was reluctant to house them in his tower. The pen is mightier than the magic wand, apparently. They're locked away here for their and our customers' safety. Our finest reserve includes the Tharkiot Codex, the Annals of Karsus and Netherese Folly, Sights of the Seelie, and the Curriculum of Strategy. Do any of those interest you? It is said to be written by Lord Karsus himself, the Netherese arcanist who attempted to replace the goddess Mystra, failed, and was banished for the attempt. Great magical knowledge lies within those pages, but not many can withstand it.
That's it. That's what I need.
The Annals of Karsus would no doubt have much to say about the Crone's true nature. If only you could read them.
Buy? Books as temperamental as these are not on sale. They are secured in our vault, where none can harm them, nor can they do any harm. Consider yourself lucky to have learned of such a book's existence, and then forget about it. The Annals of Karsus are best left unread. Customers like you are why I prefer the company of books. The only way to gain access to the vault is through my office. And before you ask, no, you are not allowed in there either. You certainly have. Even simple knowledge of these tomes is enough to stimulate most.
Hold very still, Nicklaw. Craig's aim is much improved, but still leaves something up to chance.
Yes, sir.
All right, Crank. Ready? Aim. We have a visitor. At ease. Nicklaw, you may go. I see no night song. Surely you wouldn't have entered my tower without the night song in hand? Surely you wouldn't have wasted my time? Huh. Fascinating. You've been to Shah's temple, haven't you? To the Shadowfell? Alas, I've paid for a good deal of very privileged information. Now I await the results of the generous contract I've commissioned. Answer now, or see what happens when fools misuse my valuable time. I'm growing tired of this repartee, my friend. Let us cut to the chase. Beautiful, isn't it? Worth more than your life, too. I bought it from a Kalashite warlock. Very little of his soul left to him. It can bind a celestial to the wearer's service with a snap of the fingers. And this can keep her in place. Forever. It didn't work out for poor Ketherick, did it? He was a fool. A desperate mercenary who poured out his soul to whichever god flattered him. I serve no god, but that which stares back at me in the mirror. The night song will be put to a grand purpose, equalizing man and god. Whoever helps me attain that which I seek will be greatly rewarded. Of course not. But perhaps, after enough lifetimes, I might make a start of it. We shall see, won't we? Do as I say, and you will be rewarded beyond imagination. Fail, and you give up the prize to the next motivated mercenary to encounter my contract. The choice is yours, but make no mistake, I always get what I want.
Mother's milk, your visage speaks of ill tidings. Speak, ally mine. What troubles you? Is he indeed? Pray tell, what does he seek from Dame Aelin? Magicians and their machinations. I have had enough for an eternity. I will wring his neck until he's dead. Oh, his end will be one more strand in the great braid of our friendship.
I'm coming with you. I'd like to get a few licks in myself.
My darling, we agreed you'd scout for the nearest Selûnite enclave this very night. Let us divide our efforts, all the sooner to be reunited.
I won't let you go alone. Who knows what this wizard might have planned?
Our closest ally will accompany me, won't you? It will be a swift and fruitful chore. Hie we to this Leroican right away. I am as eager to meet him as he is to ensnare me.
Aelin left to face that wizard, Leroican, was it? Even after all she's been through, she thinks herself unstoppable, invincible. It all feels like recklessness to me. That's my greatest fear. I wanted to help her, but she said she fights better when she knows I'm safe. I understand, I suppose. I feel the same about her. I'll rest a little easier if you do. You fought well against my father. I imagine a rat like Leroican will be nothing in comparison.
What have we here? A magician in a tower, hiding away from the frightening world. What are you so scared of, Magus? Not the night song, surely? Why, she's nothing but a relic to be purchased and pursued.
At last. There you are, my dear.
You will address me with due deference. I am Dame Aelin, and you are a whelp without honor, without pride, with nothing but a tower full of trinkets.
Oh, my apologies, Dame Aelin. I meant no disrespect. I asked our mutual friend here to make an introduction that I might get to meet the famed daughter of Selûne. Forgive me for that impudence. Perhaps our friend can bridge the gap and do what I believe they came here to do?
My steel-hearted friend speaks true. Give me one good reason, Magus, why I should not strike you down where you stand.
Dame Aelin, I have discovered a device that would allow your immortality to be shared. It would cause you no harm, no pain of any kind. You serve your mother Selûne, I believe. She who has blessed our realm with so many gifts. Honor her by sharing yours.
You dare to threaten me with the same magic that held me in torment for 100 years? You do not seek to share my gifts. You seek to poach them.
I had hoped to appeal to your better nature. Perhaps I overestimated you. No bother. I have an arsenal of implements capable of convincing you to see reason. A pity you didn't prove a more reliable ally. You could have reaped the rewards of my good favor. I'd hoped you to keep an open mind, but it seems you're determined to make this as difficult as possible. I have great plans for you, Dame Aelin. And if you will not go quietly, then you'll go kicking and screaming.
Magicians and their plans for Dame Aelin. Predictable, sadistic, flaccid.
Myrmidons! Imperatum!
Leroican. You who would see me caged. You who would purchase my submission with profane gold. Let every wicked magus, every vile murtherer, each slaver and misery merchant see. Dame Aelin is watching. She is indomitable. And when her face lights the shadows of your wrongdoing, you are broken by its beauty!
My faith protects me.
What to do?
The Firehead Fool is dead. Yet as I stare upon his corpse, I feel sadness. Why? A gripping in the chest, as though I'd lost someone. Something. Paladin's fatigue, no doubt. You were excellent in battle, as is your way. And I am proud to fight at your side. I will catch my breath, then to camp I will bring my bones. Moon Maiden be with you.
The Annals of Karsus. The preamble to a civilization's downfall, committed to parchment by the very hand that wrought its destruction. The truth of the crown, I hope. All that stands between us and enlightenment is the turn of a page. This isn't what I expected. This is much more. The crown of Karsus. And this is no mere journal. It contains Karsus's original plans for the crown's construction. His designs for godhood. Gods have ascended through far stranger means. A circle drawn on a globe, a walk in a swamp, the destruction of a magical stone. Why not with a symbol of such innate authority? The book states that the crown and netherstones were originally one construct, seemingly sundered at the moment of Karsus's downfall. If we can collect the crown's setting and the 3 netherstones, and with the correct invocation of certain spells and gestures detailed in these notes, I think I could reforge it. To every end you can imagine, and 1,000 more beyond. Just think of it. The power of the gods in mortal hands at last would be free of doctrine and dogma, confined only by the limits of our imaginations. I promise you, the gods will never grant us such a blessing, no matter how much we worship and adore them. Some gods may delude themselves into believing they care about their worshippers. But when it comes down to it, we're all expendable. Children to be appeased, not respected. I worshipped Mistra loyally for years, and in that time she granted me the barest sliver of the power I was ready to wield. Even with the fate of the world at stake, she had little more to offer me than the means of blowing myself up at a more convenient time. She's done nothing to help us. Mistra wanted the brain obliterated because of this crown. She fears a world in which such power is beyond her control. ready to be claimed by Karsus's successor. She sent me to die. Ambition is not a sin. To question the powers that rule us is not treason. We must at least try. Why wallow in the dirt where we can reach for the stars? I'm glad you can recognize this for the opportunity it is. Nevertheless, not a step to take lightly. It's our future that I'm thinking of. Can't rely on anyone else to do it for us. For now, we've learned all we can. Here's your tome back. It proved to be even more valuable than I ever could have imagined. For both of us. Elminster?
Oh, hello, my boy. No, don't mind me. I'm just enjoying a lungful of Baldurian air. Yes, a distinctive aroma, though perhaps not one worthy of bottling. I hear you've been browsing in the most esteemed of emporiums, Sorcerous Sundries. Indulge my curiosity. What wonders did you discover there? So, you have learned the truth of the enemy we face. The very tool with which its eponymous creator unmade magic itself. Perhaps now you understand what is at stake here, my boy. Though what Mystra asked of you was extreme, it was not without merit, nor demanded lightly.
What are you saying? Or rather, what are you not saying?
Mystra knows you defied her, Gale. Well, of course she knows. She's Mystra. She bids you come to her holy shrine in the Stormshore Tabernacle. There, she will grant you an audience at last.
I'm curious enough to make the attempt. All right. An audience with the mother of magic, it is.
Perhaps that should have been your mission right from the start. Trust in yourself. Trust in the weave. If you are willing, trust in Mystra. There is a conclusion yet to be written in this sorry tale, Gale of Waterdeep. And yours is the quill that will write it.
So all it took to get Mystra's attention was to learn how to reforge an artifact that once destroyed her. It's obvious when you stop to think about it. Well, I doubt it's an apology for asking me to die on her behalf. Whatever it is. If it's important enough to send Elminster, we can be damn sure she's serious. This is a conversation that's long overdue on both sides. I owe it to her to hear her out. Come what may afterwards. After you.
There she stands, just as Elminster promised. Mystra, goddess of the weave, mother of all magic.
The old man wasn't lying. She's opened the summoning channel. Can't you feel it?
Gale's right. The very air around the statue crackles with magic. It sets your teeth on edge.
A stream of pure, undiluted weave. I only have to reach out, and it will carry me to Mystra, wherever she may be.
Well? Are you composing a poem in your head or some such?
Time was, I'd have given my right arm for a chance to speak with Mystra again. The left one, too. Maybe a knee. Am I? You're right. I am a strong, capable wizard. And this is no more than a casual reunion with an ex-lover. My omnipotent, omniscient ex-lover. I always wonder what being nervous would feel like. I hate it. You're kind to say so, but this is hardly my first time in Mystra's presence. It's more the matter of what I'm going to say to her. During my time locked away in Waterdeep, I prepared a quite comprehensive speech for her on the subject of our former relationship and the manner in which it ended. Alas, recent events have rendered the majority of it moot, so I'm going to have to improvise. Unless you have any words of wisdom to impart before I go. Mystra's forgiveness? If you want me to claim the crown of Karsus, she'll hardly be in a forgiving mood after that. I think it's best I keep a cool head going into this. Approach it like a particularly high-risk round of 3 Dragon Ante. I'll let Mystra show her flight, and then I can see how strong a chance we stand of winning the gambit. I'll only be gone for a matter of moments. The Outer Planes experience time quite differently to our own. Wait for me. Please.
Gale of Waterdeep, you look well.
As do you. But I assume we're not here solely to exchange compliments. So why am I here?
You discovered what lies at the heart of the Absolute, the crown of Karsus. And you disobeyed my instruction. Why?
Because you had no right to ask that of me. You cast me out. Remember?
You were my lover, my chosen. Yet still you know so little of me. The past cannot be undone with self-pity, nor can a future be forged. Only with the truth will you see the way ahead. The fragment of magic you tried to return to me was not of my creation. It was the Karsite weave. It is a corrupted, half-born magic, wrought in the brief moment Karsus ascended to godhood. It hungers for power, just as he did, and it can never be sated. You unleashed something that would consume all magic in existence, and yet you thought only of preserving yourself.
So that's what you're scared of. With the crown of Karsus reforged, I could take control of the Karsite weave.
You can no more control the Karsite weave than a weather vane could control a storm. That it entered your body and consumed no more than your powers was a miracle, but we will not be granted another. The only reason the orb sleeps is because I have allowed it to feed on the true weave. A temporary measure, but one that will not be enough to save us. With each day that passes, the Elder Brain threatens to become a new kind of god. Its worshippers, a scourge of soulless illithids. If you will not use the orb to end this abomination, then you must find a way to separate crown and host. When you've done this, you must surrender the crown of Karsus to me.
A great ask indeed. You've given me much to think on, as you always did.
So be it. Follow the needle of your own wisdom. We shall see how truly it leads you.
Shield our people from the depredations of the absolute heretics. Bless them with this...
The Karsite Weave. I had no idea. Do you realize what this means? The orb is no stray piece of ordinary magic. It is something entirely different. The nascent form of a new, divine power. Of course, I couldn't control it. I was mortal. But once I reforge the crown, the power of a god will be mine to command. The orb will answer to me. Slim to none, I hope. Mystra has no right to prevent another ascending to the Pantheon. Only Ao can decide that. Let me assure you, Karsite Weave has no more inherent evil to it than a child in the womb, or an axe half forged on the blacksmith's anvil. It is a tool, ready to be shaped by its wielder, by me. And you know me to be someone of reasonably sound moral judgment, don't you? But they didn't. I always thought it was a miracle that I survived, but I'm starting to wonder if there was more to it. What if it chose me? How can I not? Think about it. The crown of Karsus, the Netherstones, the Karsite Weave. No more than a tadpole's breadth from being reunited. This is my chance to get back everything that was taken from me. Everything Mystra denied me. And once I have it, I can forge a better world. Be a better god. I want you to help me. Well then, what more is there to discuss? All we need to do is stay focused on the task at hand. Defeating that Elder Brain. After that, you can leave the rest to me.
Alright everyone, this concludes this particular episode, so I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Later!